Gary Valenciano's nickname is Mr. Pure Energy. It's his charisma that helped launch him to the top of the pop music charts along with his talent, but that's just a part of his massive appeal. Take a look.
He performs before sold-out crowds around the world. He's won over 24 music awards, and he's been a spokesman for Coca-Cola, Sony, Colgate, and Toyota. He even has a microphone named after him. He's pop star Gary Valenciano. But Gary V, as he's called, is more than a talented award-winning musician. He's a man who loves Jesus Christ and lives to spread the life-changing message of the gospel throughout the world.
We're always excited when he comes back. Please welcome back to the 700 Club award-winning singer Gary Valenciano.
Terry,
it's wonderful to have you
It's
here.
Always good to be here.
Boy, you've been in the business for over 20 years, successful in almost everything that you do. I can always wait for your new works that come out because your packaging is so awesome. I mean, it's just great. This is called Rebirth. Your new release. Yeah. Tell me about that.
Well, it's a hope of mine to, with so much that's happening in the world today, it's an effort of mine to kind of revive or bring back to life dreams that were once thought, dead, or hopes that were once buried. This is like, hopefully, it will bring some sort of rebirth to all of this in people's lives from all over the world.
How much of your music do you write yourself?
I write quite a lot of music. This one, though, I wanted to focus on songs that inspired me. So there are some remakes here, a song like Mary Did You Know, or Only Hope. I have some originals also part of this. I even have a song called Shout for Joy that my son and I kind of worked on. My son kind of reproduced it for me.
That's awesome. When you do write, what's your inspiration? What touches you?
Many times it's people, Terry. When I see faces of people, when I'm out on stage, and there's sometimes you can look at someone and just that look says more than what words can say. And you don't have to know exactly the details of what they're going through, but it's good to touch people that way.
Sometimes, Gary, someone can look at a person who's been incredibly successful as you have and think, well, they've got it made. They've never had a struggle in their lives. But God always allows us to touch other people by the hurts we've had in our own life. When you were 14, you were diagnosed with juvenile diabetes, and that's not only a serious issue, but it's been an issue over the years for you. How has that touched and shaped your life?
It is written that it is in our weakness that God's power is made perfect. And I have met death face to face many times. The last time was in 2005, where I was in a show, and because I was jet lagging, I had taken some insulin. Instead of eating, I fell asleep. And my wife woke up at 3 a.m. to see me convulsing and then going stiff, and she thought I was practically dead. And I saw myself down in the lobby of the hotel, and 911, all of these paramedics came, and that was the closest I came for me to meeting death face to face. And at that point, I realized that I needed to go into the insulin pump that I'm on now. And God provided a way, because it's not a perfect science, but it's as close to it as it can get. I was 14 years old. The doctor said that 30 years after first diagnosis, that's supposed to be the average lifespan of any type 1 juvenile diabetic. I'm 30 years old as a diabetic, and there are no complications.
Isn't that wonderful?
No, it's beyond wonderful. I think it's really miraculous. Really. Yes, that's why I'm bold when I come out on stage and I speak about this, because people need to know that God is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. And He's still very much alive today as He was when He walked the earth and created and called Lazarus from the dead. And that's the Jesus Christ that we speak about on a daily basis, and we try and live out in our lives.
And He's very much using you today in many different ways. I have been to the Philippines, and I know that you have a wonderful Christian community there throughout the country. Also, a strong Muslim population. And many of them listen to your music, which always has a Christian message involved in it. What kind of response do you get from the Muslim community?
It's amazing. Just last year, I was able to go down to a particular area, and for the first time, I was surrounded by 100% Muslims.
Wow.
And they reached out to me. I reached out to them. I sang a few songs. There was no sound system. We just used the bullhorn, and I just sang my songs in a cappella.
Wow, you are good.
But you know, to reach out to them, and you get to realize they're people too, and God loves them just as much as He loves me or you or
and
anybody.
they're just as hungry as we are.
Oh yes, they
to
are.
know truth.
Beautiful people. I was able to spend time with them, talk to them, and make them know that someday I'm going back there, with electricity or not. I'm going back there.
How do you want people to view your career when they look at what you've done and what you're doing?
Oh, wow. There's a lot of things that I want to share with people about my life, not just on stage, but off stage. And I know that there are many others who are probably far more worthy of receiving what I've received. But I want people to know that God, you just have to make yourself available for His use. And He will take you to places you never even dreamed of. Because, Terry, none of this was ever planned.
Right.
None of it. But I made myself available, and now I'm on tour. You know?
And you're trustworthy. You know, I mean, God knows that He can give you a message to share, and you're going to faithfully do that.
And I'm excited to share it too with people.
You're going to. Speaking of sharing, what are you singing for us today? Are you doing the song that you and your son?
I am. I'll be doing a song called "Shout for Joy." It came out in 1992, in the middle of all of the earthquakes and all of the things that the Philippines was going through then, and everybody was walking with their head down like this. And I said, no. Gotta put something to encourage people, you know, to make them realize that there always is a reason to shout for joy.
Boy, this is a timely moment to sing that song as we watch the story in China today, as we look at what people are going through in Myanmar and here in the United States with so many tornadoes that have caused tragedy and struck so powerfully. But there is joy in the midst of it. Joy in the struggle.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.